Well, hi, this is J. Arthur. Now let's talk about how to take our root causes and turn them into countermeasures. In ChartSmartXL, we went through the Pareto and the histogram and the performance chart, and we got a fishbone diagram, and now we want to look at countermeasures. So if you click on the countermeasures button, you'll get our countermeasures matrix. From our last session, we developed a fishbone diagram. And our issue here was that not keeping the previous setup means we had no starting value, which means that our machine setup caused us to have folded flaps that accounted for 39.5 of packaging defects on line 3. So this is our root cause down here at the bottom. Now sometimes if you want to, you can actually put a shape in there and circle that and let everybody know that this thing is our root cause. I'm going to have no fill in there. So I'm going to set that up as being our root cause. Come back over here to countermeasures. So up here we want to put in our problem statement. So here's our problem statement. I'm just going to grab that data from here, copy it, and then I'm going to paste that in here. And then we have our root cause over here, which was we don't keep the previous step. So I'm just going to copy that value and put it over in here. So now we have where we don't keep our previous step. So what could we do? Keep previous ending setup values. And the feasibility of doing that is pretty cheap. Create setup value book to track previous values. How effective do we think that will be? Well, maybe it's not uber effective, but overall it's pretty good. And then who's going to take that action? Well, Jay has to do that. And what do we think that will save us? Well, I think that this might save us $10,000 a year. Does that make sense? And so if we don't have any other causes, we might clean that out. But we might have more root causes down here, and we might think that there were more issues. And if we come over here, you can see that this particular point over here shows that would be a very feasible thing to do. So that's the countermeasures matrix. Very quick way to translate our root causes and our problem statement into actions. Now our next step would be to add an action plan. If you click on action plan, there it is. And we can literally take this and move or copy that into our countermeasure here. And so there's our action plan. So now we have our fishbone, we have our countermeasure, and we have our action plan. And who's going to do what, right? So it's not really exotic. What are we going to do? Keep track of previous setup values. How? We're going to have a book. Who's going to do that? Looks like me. When are we going to do that by? Well, today. And where are we going to keep that book? Next to line 3 machine. And why are we doing that? Well, obvious. And then next step in the process is to use previous setup values. Look up in book. This would be the operator. And we can start doing that today as well. That's the structure of how we would start to do this using the tools in ChartSmartXL.